Hello and welcome back to Misfit Media, a podcast about queerness, disability, fatness and more with a focus on personal experience, knowledge and inter-community topics. I'm your host Delta and my pronouns are Viva, Vis. Thanks for tuning in today. Gender Fluid Awareness Week is coming up, so in this episode I'm going to be reacting to a Gender Fluid AmITheAsshole post. But before we get into it, it's time for the Post of the Week. This week's post is by Cat Black on Instagram. That's cat_black with a QUE. And it's literally just a reel where she talks about the whole victimhood mentality thing, which is a concept that kind of has always rubbed me the wrong way. And she put it really well, what bothers me, which is pretty much that people insist that marginalized people especially have a victimhood mentality, even though the people who say this are the ones that are literally victimizing us. I would absolutely recommend watching the reel. This has been the Post of the Week. Okay, the title of this post says, "Am I the asshole for not buying Friends' gender fluidity?" This already sounds horrendous. Hi Reddit, posting this on my main for humility's sake. I'm about as left as they come, and I am an atheist. I don't oppose equal rights for anybody, even if I disagree. After all, a wise man knows he knows nothing. I was introduced to a group of friends over a year ago. Two of the people are in a long-distance relationship. One is MTF and the other one is, as of late, gender fluid. I don't really believe in the concept, but I generally keep it to myself unless I'm having a discussion on it. One such time occurred when I was stoned. His girlfriend sent out a group-wide message imploring us all to be supportive and not to be assholes, with my name directly in parentheses. In private, his girlfriend speculated he's trying out being trans. He regularly slips up on his own name and identity, having not changed appearance or habits. Also, since then he has changed his name 4 times, regularly calling himself a male or by his birth name. I think my friend is being histrionic and have actively avoided the group due to the hostility I felt ever since. They follow the oversensitivity and coddling ethos of Tumblr. Before rendering a verdict, I need to remind you that I only once said that I don't believe in gender fluidity. This was in context appropriate, and I was under the influence. I apologized for hurt feelings and affirmed that I respect my friend regardless of personal belief. I have been the butt of comparative jokes between me and those oh-so-mean anti-SJW types. Am I the arsehole? Yes, you fucking are. You say you are as left as they come. You say that you respect your friend, but you say that you don't believe in gender fluidity. You don't believe in the concept. You can't respect your friend, but not believe that their identity is real. Also, if that person is gender fluid, then of course they sometimes might refer to themselves as male or use he him pronouns or use their birth name, because maybe manhood just happens to be a part of their gender fluidity. And the part saying where this person slips up on their name and identity, I mean, firstly, maybe they don't. Maybe they are just a different gender that day and use a different name. Even if that's not the case, it's not that uncommon for trans and non-binary people to accidentally misgender ourselves. After all, a lot of us who come out as adults have had at least 18 years of being referred to and referring to ourselves as our assigned gender at birth. So that's not uncommon, and that's not proof that someone is not gender fluid. There's also nothing wrong with changing your name 4 times. People are allowed to change their name and then realize that that doesn't fit. That's what trying out names is. And the exact thing that this person is saying is the reason why so many people do not feel safe to come out. I mean, I've changed my name twice only, and that was already awkward enough. So this person is actually brave as fuck for changing her name 4 times. It's also really fucking ableist to call this person histrionic as an insult because they are gender fluid and want to be respected. Because histrionic is the name of a personality disorder, and using personality disorders as insults is ableist. What the fuck? It's also funny that you would call yourself a leftist and then say, oh so mean anti-SJWs, as if you think they are not actually mean and they're right. You probably are that. It's also funny that you call yourself leftist and then complain about people on Tumblr respecting gender fluid people. Having some basic human decency isn't coddling, and being upset when you are told by a friend that they don't think your identity is real, that's not oversensitive. That's fucking normal. That's a normal, valid response to that. Somehow, Reddit has voted that this person is not the arsehole. I don't know how this happened. I mean, this post is actually 4 years old, so I'm guessing exosexism was even more accepted then than it is now. But what the actual fuck? The fact that you apologized once, but still maintain that you don't believe in gender fluidity, like, clearly your friend is gonna pick up on the fact that you still don't believe that they actually exist. Your apology actually means fuck all if you don't change your view on gender fluid people. This is also a perfect example of atheists thinking they're so great and accepting, but literally just being alt-right arseholes. This is exactly why I abandoned the atheist community. And this has been it for the main part of this episode, and now it's time for the Song of the Week. This week's song is going to be If I Were a Fish by Karuk and Olivia Barton. I know I'm a bit late to the trend. This song has gone viral in I don't know, April? But I never really listened to the whole thing until recently, and it's incredibly wholesome. And if you have self-confidence problems, listen to this song. It's really wholesome. It makes me happy every time I listen to it. And this has been the Song of the Week. Please remember to take the Misfit Media listener survey. If you enjoyed this episode or even the entire podcast, please consider sharing it with a friend or on social media. You should also consider following Misfit Media on your preferred podcast platform, because that way you will never miss an episode again. If you would like to listen to a monthly bonus episode, you can subscribe to Misfit Media for only 99p a month, with a link in the description of this episode. For everything else, such as my social media, the Misfit Media Discord, the Misfit Media Spotify playlist, the podcast transcripts, sending me a voice message, sending me anonymous questions, or my email, all of that can be found in the link tree in the description of this episode. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be safe.